start the show.
Were you silent or were you silenced?
And the face she gives when she does it. The most iconic, we just got the most iconic Oprah moments to ever exist from this interview.
Because we kind of realized with, I think I still have it in here. Let's see.
Oh, yes, right there, right there.
The vultures are waiting to pick your bones.
And you made the comment that you definitely think that Oprah practices these things in the mirror. Like
of course.
Her buzzwords, like she already has them figured out before she even does the interview.
Of course. So the interview in question is the Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, yeah. Which is an ironic name considering he's definitely balding. Right?
Yeah, well, they both of them. Yeah, well,
Meghan Markle is definitely balding.
Going bald. Yeah, all this horrible stress of her being
the most depressed woman in the world.
Apparently, I mean, it really, like so much of it was so fucking funny to me. Like that's like really, I mean, it's funny because like all these culture war things are just becoming absolutely utterly hilarious to me. And this one was so funny because it's like, okay, so Joe Biden passes this like meager, ridiculous stimulus bill that is like not nearly enough to handle anything. We'll get into that a little bit later. But literally the son of a queen and some actress who I believe that she's black. I mean, we got to go by the one drop rule was like definitely in effect on this one.
And that is a very racist, that has a very racist history in the US because there was, what was that one case? It wasn't Plessy versus Ferguson, was it? Where they were like, if you even have 1/16 of black in you, you're black and you can't be white. Do you remember that historic case?
Yeah, I do. And I think
of course it got overturned, but like, or whatever. It was like unconstitutional.
Yeah.
But that her 1/32nd of I don't know, blackness. I don't know how black she is.
I mean, I don't either. I don't really care. I mean, like really what it comes down to is she's as black presenting as we are gay presenting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a similar thing. Like, you know, it's like why I've said many times on here, I never like compare, you know, gay issues to black issues because I don't wear it every day around, you know, I can kind of like blend in if I want to. And she's kind of a similar thing, but again, like how the thing was so couched in this reality that she's oppressed somehow. And it's like, bitch, you will be rich. You're staying in Tyler Perry's house while you're talking to Oprah. I mean, like you are the most well-connected person of all time, but I have a hot take that made me kind of maybe respect her if this hot take is true. Oh. So there are two really credible conspiracy theories about Prince Harry, right? Yeah. The first one is that Charles, like that's his dad, right?
I guess so.
Is not his actual father. So that's number one. So like Diana cheated on on him to have Harry. And then the other conspiracy theory is that she was murdered, but like that's almost like pretty much accepted by like, if you really look into it, I mean, like the excuse was that they were fleeing the paparazzi and the limo driver was drunk. And it's like, okay. And then she dies in a tunnel. And we don't know like anything about what happened. And so, and so really what it was is I think that the royal family knew that she was going to leave the family and then go off with this, like, I think he's Saudi Arabian, like businessman or whatever. And just kind of fuck off to Dubai and be left alone. And so they killed her. And I think that Harry knows it. And so I think this is, he got because he's kind of when you watch them together, he's a total beta man. And so he got this sort of,
he's a soy boy beta cuck.
Soy boy beta cuck.
Libtard.
Yeah. And so he got this psychotic, histrionic woman to basically bully for him to get him away from this psychotic family that had his mom killed. You know?
Yeah.
And
look, like we just watched a documentary about the assassination of Kim Jong-nam.
Yeah, that was wild.
Really fucking crazy.
It's called Assassins. It's on Amazon.
It's really good. But like I'm thinking like why isn't there the same scrutiny about Diana's death and the things that the royal family are capable of?
Or us.
Is it because they're white?
Yeah, right. I mean, well, and again, I mean, it was interesting because the way they ended that Assassins movie was trying to frame it as like, you know, they showed Donald Trump meeting with Kim Jong-un and trying to make it out like, oh, now we have now made this totalitarian dictator someone who's you know, even though he killed his brother in plain sight, blah, 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 you know, we validated his behavior. And it's like, how many extrajudicial assassinations have we gone through with? We're not like Russia or North Korea where we like want it to be known that we do this. Like obviously if they're using a nerve agent, and which is what Russia's MO is as well, they most certainly will. They want the public to be afraid of this reality. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But it's the same here. I mean, you know, if you think about it, like if you were getting into like local politics, like you were a senator or a congressman or whatever, and you were just like kind of like how Steve Cox wants to be, they'll probably think of ways to kill you. You know what I mean? Like if you get in, you just go like, oh, you know, this national debt is fake. This is all fiat currency, blah, 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 blah. Like they don't want to give out money because of their corporate donors. Like if you, I think, went out and said that kind of shit, like on the House floor, they would start to like be like, all right, this guy's gonna fucking die. We'll do a car accident. We can cut his brake lines. We'll give him. We'll put a bunch of booze in his lungs and make it seem like he was drunk driving. That's kind of the CIA's MO. But so like you can easily be disappeared by these people, the same way that Kim Jong-un was, expedited, or rather had an exodus from this earth.
The U.S. could never have a royal family. There's no possible way that the U.S. would allow, that the citizens of the United States would allow any more of their taxpayer money to be spent on something as excessive as a castle.
Right.
A fucking castle with guards.
Right.
And spears. Who the fuck? We're happy sending our money to Iran to kill innocent people in hijabs.
Over a million, yeah.
Over millions of dollars, 20 years. You know, we're happy to do
people,
that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that too. Sorry. Totally forgot about the lives we lost. I'm just thinking about the money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
sweet, cold hard cash.
Americans are perfectly happy doing that, but we would never fucking pay for a fucking a kingdom. Other than like Disney, we would. That's the only kingdom.
We get the Magic Kingdom.
We get the Magic Kingdom. That's the only kingdom in the United States to exist.
Yes. Yeah.
We would never pay for the queen and her 90-year-old fucking decrepit diapers.
Right.
To spend our money.
Right. Yeah.
Useless.
Yeah, and I do find like this sort of American fascination with the monarchy to be really ironic and kind of bizarre. Number one, because I mean, we literally fought a revolution to get rid of them. But the other part of it too is it's like, what I do kind of get it in the sense of, and this is like a take from Red Scare, but Anna was saying that it's kind of similar to our fascination with the Kardashians, because like they kind of are like royalty here in a way, like in terms of they're not like elected officials, but they have so much power and influence that they can pretty much dictate culture however they want. Yeah, and I get that in England in the sense that like these people are, like celebrities, and like, but they're sort of like symbolic in terms of governance or any of these kinds of things. But the fascination with it here is mind-boggling to me, and I think people are bored. That's why I think like 100 million people tuned into that fucking broadcast with Oprah. But yeah, so but if you really think about it, you think about these two people, and the whole crux of the interview was that someone made a snide comment that they confirmed wasn't Queen Elizabeth or like really anybody in the family. It was just somebody who was present. Made just a dumb comment about wondering what the kid's skin color would be, which is sort of like something my 90-year-old relatively progressive grandparents would say, because it's like, kind of the Japs and the stupid shit that they say that's just culturally outdated.
They say things like Oriental,
yes. Which is interesting because it's like, okay, so what is really what is the indictment here? Like over the pressure you felt about that, you felt like fleeing and having a mass exodus from the royal family, and, or is it that Harry finally is coming to grips with the fact that his mother was murdered by this family, and the second they want to give an interview, it's with a fucking billionaire, Oprah, who's one of the most watched people on the planet. So basically, these two can set up a media empire. So I think that's what they're going to do now, and it's great for her because she was only on the show Suits or whatever, this Meghan Markle.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I think that had she not married a literal prince, she would just sort of languish in, obscurity as an actress. But I gotta say, it's a fucking girl boss move. Like this is the girl boss move. I mean, this is the girl boss move of all girl boss moves. And she's dismantling
this kingdom, this royal family, and becoming more powerful than they are.
Yes.
From a distance. She's not even doing it from the inside. She's on the outside.
Yes. Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I pray that this fucking dismantles and destroys this outdated concept of a royal family. Mm-hmm. Good Lord, grow up.
I know.
What decade? What century is this?
I think. I mean, I lived with British people for a while, so I do understand. Like it represents something to them. Especially British people that live here. It's home. It's familiar. Whatever. And it's sort of like I think it would be like the Magic Kingdom, like Disneyland, like Mickey Mouse. It's sort of these representations of British culture, you know what I mean, that are important to a lot of people in Britain. But it's strange because I think the Kardashians example is completely apt because they have an influence on culture, but really nothing from a legislative standpoint,
right.
And so they're basically just celebrities, and the biggest celebrities in England, essentially.
Yeah.
And then again, if you're like whatever age, you've watched Harry and Charles grow up, you know, and so it's like this thing has just been sort of omnipresent in your entire life. And then the Princess Diana thing was such a crazy event. So I do get it in England, but here it's like we have enough. We invented celebrity culture. Like, just can we stop this? Like, please, for the love of God. But
we don't need to import celebrities.
No.